What's going on, everyone? So, Luka Doncic, right? A lot of talk about this upcoming offseason, and is he going to put in the work? Is he going to put in the hours and the time to really transform, shape his body, get back to the conditioning? Now, reports did come out that Luka is committed to take on more just conditioning reps and things like that, that he is willing to add kind of more to his regime. So Luka added extra conditioning. Luka Doncic committed to additional exercise after joining Lakers with the calf injury. And so hopefully that is something that continues. Hopefully it's not something that he just goes, okay, well, I'm done, right? Like I got through the season. We just wanted to do that. Now we're good. Now, check, right? Like hopefully he's really willing and committed because look, Luka is an incredible talent without a doubt. But you saw him get kind of gassed. You saw him get a little tired, right? Especially at times where we really needed him to step up. We really needed him to be great. And he was insanely talented, insanely good. But he wasn't the Luka that we know, right? The Luka we know is just like crushing souls and just like otherworldly, right? Like he almost doesn't seem real. And he seemed like a very good basketball player, but not the arguably top 2 guy in the league, right? Like, and he needs to get back to that if the Lakers are really planning on winning multiple championships. If the Lakers ended up trading, even the version of Luka that we saw this year is still incredible. You can still win championships with a guy like him, but you need so much more. Where Luka, if he can get back to being the Luka that we know from previous years, you're seeing, you could potentially see a very different version of this team, right? Part of the reason I thought Minnesota or that the Lakers could beat Minnesota was because of Luka and how good we know he is, how transcending of a player he is and can be. And he just wasn't that, right? Again, incredible, right? But he wasn't transcendingly good. And that's the difference, right? So my hope is that he and LeBron just get together and just work their tails off all offseason. That's my hope. I hope we see a version of this where Luka is just in the lab, working, cooking, right? Go take your time off, go rest your body, recoup, do the things that most players do when they get done, right? LeBron James has MCL sprain, right? So, he's probably going to take a couple weeks to get over that, get some checkups, things like that. So even LeBron himself is going to take some time. Take the next month or two, right, to really get yourself right. Enjoy the summer, get into August or whatever, and then start gearing up. Even JJ Redick himself talked about how, they want to set the culture. They want to set the standard there. They really want to build this infrastructure that guys have their routines and all that stuff, and they don't want to break the routines, but they want to have kind of things designed for each individual player to kind of build for playoff basketball, right? Championship conditioning is the thing, right? And part of that is Luka, right? Luka needs to be in championship conditioning, right? JJ Redick has talked about how he wants and believes that he can unlock Luka and that he can make Luka a better player. And I do think that there is another step, another level to Luka, right? Like he needed to go to, I believe, a place like the Lakers with a guy like LeBron to learn how to win. A guy that got to an NBA Finals, that's incredible, right? LeBron you saw go to a Finals, right? But it took LeBron going to Pat Riley and Heat culture and, Dwayne Wade and stuff like that to really learn what it takes to win. There was a lot of talks about that, like, hey, man, everything clicked for him. Everything changed when he went to Miami, right? And I do think that that's kind of a similar thing you're seeing with Luka, where Luka went to the Lakers, where he's going to get to be with LeBron. He's going to get to work with LeBron. He's going to have, the proper, training staff and medical staff and medical team and all these things to really kind of propel him into that next tier, into that next level, right? But it, at the end of the day, boils down to Luka. Right? Luka has to be willing to put in the hours, put in the time, be committed on his quest to win. Right? How badly do you want it? How badly do you want to win? Do you want to win enough to where you're willing to give everything into making that happen? Look, guys drink and smoke and do all kinds of stuff all the time, right? Like it's not even him enjoying a hookah and a beer, even every night is not the end of the world. But you have to be able and willing to do the work that comes with it, right? You can't, want to smoke all day and, have a drink, drink 10 beers and then not prep and prepare and have the proper conditioning, right? I mean, I understand that there's obviously within a proper balance, right? If he's drinking, a 30 pack a day, it's kind of counteracting what he does. But there's a lot of stuff. I mean, Michael Jordan used to smoke cigars like they were breath mints, right? Larry Bird used to, just down beers after beer after beer after beer. Like, there are plenty of incredible athletes and NBA players that have their vices, that love to do stuff, that love to go out. I mean, Jordan was having, binges and stuff like that in Vegas. Then going and playing in a playoff game. James Harden, same vein, right? Like there's a lot of different players that have had these things that are great and excellent that, he can overcome. But again, you have to also be committed and work in, right? Michael Jordan did the work, right? Yeah, he liked to disappear, right? Like he liked to go and gamble and, play golf and he'd be up all night, right? Like all the stories about like, dude, he'd be up till, 8 a.m, just getting blacked out, plastered, enjoyed his life and then go on and just be that killer, right? Like there's stories of Kobe, right? Kobe wasn't really known to go and party and stuff like that, but there's stories of Kobe going like, hey, like I'll go out with you guys. I'll hang out with you guys and go and have a good time, throwing back shots, doing all things. Boom, but was right there to work, right? Like you can do both. You can have both. It's not something where it's like you can't have one or the, where you have to only have one or the other, right? But he needs to be committed. He needs to grind. He needs to work. We need to see that Luka transformation. We need to see him kind of, take a step back. He's still so incredibly young. You have him for at least another 10 years, especially his style of playing, the way he plays. He's probably going to be good for a while. It's just, how long does he himself want to play? But, we've seen that version of Luka that's just clearly better than everybody. I do think that version is still there. And it's just the Lakers getting that out of him. And if they can, then it's going to go down as one of the worst trades in NBA history for Dallas. That's for sure. But, I'm excited to see how this offseason progresses. I'm sure we're going to get photos and updates and all kinds of stuff. So strap in, stay tuned. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? You excited for Luka and his commitment and his transformation? Do you think that's coming? Do you think like, nah, that's just not who he is? Either way, love to hear it down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me not. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.